Jingle Bell Farm, and today I'm making apple pie muffins. So join me as I create a recipe. You can come right alongside me. So what I'm doing today, this is something I do a lot on the homestead, is use what I've got, and that is apple pie filling. So I had a quart of home canned apple pie filling. It looks just like this. This is a pint size of apple pie filling, but this was a quart. So I had opened a quart to use over some ice cream. That was our last video. I made homemade ice cream, and we just used a little bit added to our ice cream that night. So I still had about half a quart left. So I'm not going to throw it away. I'd like to use it up. I'm not going to recant it. And so here's how we're going to do it. I'm going to make some apple pie muffins and see how it goes. So in my kitchen, I keep this notebook, and this is where I work out recipes. I've never made this one, so you're joining me as I go here. So let's get started. I've gone ahead and I've added into my book a good muffin base that I use, and then I'm going to work off of that depending on what the batter looks like, so you can kind of get a feel of how I cook in my kitchen anyways this way. I'm going to start with about a cup of softened butter. This is our homemade butter. It's a little melted on the bottom. That's okay. I'm going to use some sugar. I would normally use more sugar than I'm going to in this recipe in muffins, but remember that apple pie filling has a lot of sugar in it, and so that should be good enough. I'm going to use about a cup of sugar, just white sugar. I need to grab 2 eggs out of our lined egg jar, some vanilla. You can never go wrong with vanilla. I've got my pint, roughly 2 cups of apple pie filling, 4 cups of flour, and then we're going to use some baking soda, about a teaspoon of baking soda. I think I might add a little baking powder in there as well, just for good measure. So let's get started. We're going to start by creaming together our softened butter with our sugar. All right, about a cup of butter. This is rough. And a cup of sugar. These are eggs that I limed 2 months ago. This is how I get them out. I use a slotted spoon. I'm just going to set it carefully in the sink where I will rinse it. Come on. Just wash that lime water right off. Let's see what those limed eggs look like. Look like normal. These go in one at a time. Next will be my vanilla, about a teaspoon. All right, that looks great. So this is a separate bowl. I'm going to use 4 cups of sugar. This 4 cups of flour. Like I said, sugar. And I figured probably a teaspoon of salt. I use Redmond's real salt. It doesn't have any anti-caking agent in it, so I often have to get some clumps out. We're going to also do a teaspoon of baking soda. I buy it in bulk, so it lives in a jar here in the kitchen. Same thing, get any clumps out. You could sift this through a sieve. I'm just not even going to bother today. I'm going to do a teaspoon of baking, well, a half a teaspoon of baking powder. These are all of my dry things. And since I'm not sifting, I'm gonna whisk them together. All right, and then let's go add that to our batter that we've started. All right, so I've added half of my dry ingredients and that's getting a little bit too thick, so perhaps I should have added my apple pie filling first. I'm gonna go ahead and throw that in before I put the second half of the dry ingredients. And that's just par for the course cooking here and how I come up with stuff. So let's see how this works out. I may even add a little milk to thin it down, or possibly some sour cream to help work with that baking soda. That sounds really good, actually. You could use buttermilk. Maybe I'll do that. I'll make like a, I don't have any buttermilk right now that's not frozen, so maybe I'll make a quick cheater buttermilk with a little bit of lemon juice and milk. I don't know. We'll see. Let's see what happens here. About a quarter cup of sour cream. It's kind of runny. Sometimes it happens at the bottom of a jar. It's going to help thin it. It's going to add some acid to work with the baking soda. I may need to add some milk still. Making a mess. Not making a mess in the kitchen? Are you even trying to make anything good? Okay, I'm gonna add a little bit of maple syrup just to give it some depth, and it will continue to thin it down a little bit. And sweeten it up a little more. It's probably a quarter cup. All right, so you can see the consistency there, like a thick cake batter. I think it's gonna be good for muffins. Now, you need to have your oven preheated before you get to this point. I'm gonna cook these at about 350. Once that baking powder gets activated, it needs to be cooked pretty quickly, because nobody wants flat muffins. I hope this works out. All right, so I'm just gonna give this a good, sometimes the KitchenAid mixer doesn't get the sides of the bowl very well, so I'm gonna make sure that is mixed in well. Now, some things to keep in mind: the apple pie filling has lots of sugar in it already. It also has cornstarch. It also has lots of cinnamon, allspice, apple pie spice, nutmeg, that kind of stuff. So this is gonna be very seasoned and flavorful already. I've got 18 muffin tins here. I'm gonna start with just 12 and see where that gets us. I don't have papers, so I'm just going to oil these. I'm gonna use lard. You can use any kind of oil. If you use a spray, I'm not here to judge that either. Well, I was gonna use a paper towel there, but I don't think I'm even gonna bother. Nobody's eating these but my people. I wish I'd had made these yesterday. My guys, my boys, just left with a friend for the weekend out of town to hunt, and it's kind of a camping weekend, and this would have been a good thing to sun with them, but I didn't know they were going until last night. Kind of a plan that came together at the last minute. You could use butter in this tin. papers would be nice. I never have papers when I need them. I don't make muffins very frequently. But that is changing because the cost of the snacks that my people like at the store have gone up. So I'm making more and buying less. All right. Fill your cups halfway to 2/3 of the way full. This is such a thick dough. I think these are going to be nice and fluffy. This is like a poofy pancake dough. Okay, so I think this is going to work out. I've got 18 muffins ready to go in the oven. My oven's preheated at 350. They're going to cook 20 to 25 minutes. I'm going to stop at the 15-minute mark and do a little something fun on top. If you wanted, before you put these in the oven, you could come up with a cinnamon and sugar streusel type topping with some extra butter. You could use walnuts in this batter, or you could use walnuts and a streusel topping on top. All kinds of fun little things that you can do. I'm going to put them in plain as is, and at 15 minutes, I've got a secret surprise to put on top. See how that works out. So let's put them in. Alright, it's been 15 minutes. I'm sure they're not quite finished. They are quite poofy though. Oh, these look so good. They smell so good. All right, so I'm gonna try. These would be really good with a topping. I can see that now. Okay, so I have some homemade cajeta that I traded my friend Emily some butter for. So thanks, Emily. I've warmed this up. I'm gonna try to drizzle this on the tops of these so that it bakes down into the muffin. So let's see how that goes. Just slightly warmed. I'm just gonna let it drizzle. It's probably gonna make a huge mess on my pan, but that's all right. It'll be worth it. Oh, it's melting so it covers the entire top. All right, that's better. So if you're not familiar with cajeta, basically it's a homemade caramel, cinnamon caramel, and it's cooked down from milk. It takes a long time. It takes a lot of stirring, couple of hours, cooking it down. And basically that milk is sweetened milk. You use some sugar in it and some cinnamon sticks. And you can use a hot pepper too. I've seen where a lot of people use a hot pepper. I don't do that. We don't prefer that flavor. We just use this. When we make it, we do cinnamon also. But it takes so long to make that we rarely make it. I was so thankful to trade my friend some butter for her homemade cajeta. All right, back in the oven they go. These are great. We'll definitely make these again. These were great. So thanks for watching. If you liked it, I hope you'll subscribe for more and share with your friends. Bye.